Hello everyone, welcome to today's video lecture, and for more updates please do subscribe to my channel. And today in this class we are going to study about physical environment. In our previous video lecture we have studied about environment, and environment contains two major factors, that is biotic factor and abiotic factor. Means environment is of two types, that is abiotic environment and biotic environment. And don't get confused if anybody mentions physical environment. The physical environment is nothing but abiotic environment. The physical environment is also called as abiotic environment. And we know this. These biotic and abiotic environment are interdependent on each other. Means they are dynamic in state. Dynamic state means they are actively interact with each other. There is a active changes. There is a active process has been occurring between the abiotic environment and biotic environment. They constantly affect each other and cannot be isolated from each other. Okay, they are interdependent on each other. Let us learn few more terms about physical environment. The physical environment is what? So as I told, it is an abiotic environment, which means that the physical environment is where individuals live, where individuals learn, work, play. That actually forms the physical environment. The physical environment includes heat, light, temperature, water, oxygen, moisture, wind, water, atmosphere. These are all actually forms the physical environment. The physical environment, it's not only necessitates adaptation for organisms to exist in a particular environment, but it also constrains the distribution of the organism, which means that here what happens, when physical environment, it may be favorable for few organisms and it will be unfavorable for few organisms. So what happens here, when you look at some areas, okay, we can see bears only in the north side of the India. We can't see those things in the south side of the India. It's like that. Means this physical environment constrains the distribution of the organisms. Means particular type of organisms live in a particular area. So like this, because of the physical environment, they can't able to adapt to that organisms, and also sometimes it makes the organisms to adapt to that changing environment. The major constraints of the physical environment includes water, air, light, soil, temperature. These actually forms the major constraints of the physical environment. The interaction with physical environment also implies alteration of it by organisms. Means when these organisms interact with the physical environment, they are going to alter themselves, because if they change their behavior, okay, so like sometimes they move from one place to another place, they will come back in the summer season and they will go away from in the winter season. Like this, there is some changes will brings in the organisms due to the constant interaction with the physical environment, where they can't adjust to that physical environment when it is unfavorable that time. The physical environment affects the organism that live in a particular ecosystem, as I told before, obviously, because for the best example I will make you in a easy manner to understand. See, we can find the cactus only in the desert but not in the mountain tops, right? It's like that because different organisms found in the different places. Different organisms are found in a rainforest than in a desert. Okay, I hope you understood these points. Here we know that when the evolution has occurred, life of first occurs in a reducing atmosphere. In the reducing atmosphere means where oxygen is very less, but when living things created an oxidizing atmosphere within the protozoic era. Okay, so that even that brings the changes in the environment also by the activities of the living things and the non-living things. There may be changes in the physical environment also, and there may be changes in the living organisms. It may be a plant or animals, means they both constantly interact with each other and they will try to balance and they try to live with each other. A plant or animal may have a wide range of tolerance. Okay, and one more point to mention here. A plant or animal may have a wide range of tolerance for one factor in the environment, but a relatively narrow range of tolerance for another condition. This is right actually, because one can tolerate high temperature, but another person can't tolerate the high temperature. Okay, it's like that. If one person loves cold and one person likes the spring season, so one person likes rainy season, one person likes the summer season, but it is about the tolerance. If it is more, nobody can't tolerate. Okay, in that there are two types of species, that is ureothermal species and stenohalin species. Here let us know what is ureothermal species. Ureothermal species are those species which have a wide range of tolerance, means they have wide range of tolerance. Okay, tolerance is very high in case of ureothermal species. Coming to the stenohalin species, these species which have a narrow range of tolerance, tolerance. Let us move on to the few more points. In case of unfavorable environment, the living organisms uses different strategies to cope up with the stressful condition. As I told, abiotic environment, that is physical environment, and biotic environment, they both should have to interact with each other and they are never be isolated from each other, but so they rarely makes changes to adapt to that condition. Okay, so for that I would like to give example, like here in case of unfavorable environment, the living organisms uses different strategies to cope up with the stressful condition. Like the normal, we know that the normal body temperature of human body is 37 degree Celsius. It is maintained by various activities like sweating in summer. Okay, we will sweat a lot in summer, right? This is because to maintain our body temperature. Or you can see in what we will do in case of winter. We will start to shivering just to maintain our body temperature. And one more time, when coming to birds, what they will do, birds migrate. I would like to give one example. Birds migrate from Siberia to places of Nepal and India. This migratory activity is done in order to cope up with the extreme cold. And some animals, okay, they can't travel for a long distance. So what they will do, they will undergo hibernation in the winter. What is hibernation here? Hibernation means it is a winter sleep. Means they can't tolerate the winter. So what they will do, they undergo a winter sleep, that is called as hibernation. For that example is, you can take an example of bear. Bear is the example for the winter sleep, which undergoes a winter sleep, that is called as hibernation. And some organisms undergoes estivation. What is estivation here? Means they undergo summer sleep. Some organisms undergo summer sleep. For this example, I would like to give example, that is snail. Okay, snail undergoes a summer sleep, and that is called as estivation. Okay, next, for make you to understand, to explain further, here is I have prepared a chart. Okay, abiotic factors are grouped into mainly three factors, that is physiographic factor, edaphic factor, climatic factor. Let us know what are those. Physiographic factors are those associated with physical nature of the area. Means where, in the place where we are going to see about the physical nature of the area. Means how the area is, whether it is a slopey, whether it is a high, above the sea level. That we are verifying the physical nature. Those factors comes in the physiographic factor. Edaphic factor means which are related to soil. Those factors that are related to soil types, pH, humus, this comes under the edaphic factor. And climatic factor, as we all know climate. Okay, it means that climatic conditions of that area, whether it is a rainy season, whether it is a very summer, whether it is a winter, or whether it has a more sunlight or less sunlight. Okay, there we are going to see in the climatic factor, that is the effect of the sunlight, temperature, water, gases. These are all comes under the climatic factor. Means here we are going to study in detail about the abiotic factors, that is physical environment. So for make it understand better, so we categorized into three factors, so we can study one by one in detail. In the next video, I will discuss about physiographic factor. Thank you everyone.